Hey guys, welcome back, it's Lucid. We're jumping back into Bumble Rumble. It's been, I think, a little bit since I recorded. I've gotten a few turns done in the meantime, and I'll just kind of catch you guys up a little bit. We have been nuking the ever-living crap out of Pythium. I mean, we have been doing 4 flames from the sky a turn for about 7 turns now. So you can do the math. That is a lot of fire gems, it is a lot of flames in the sky, and it is a lot of dead Pythium, Communicants, Hestatus, and all of the other troops they have. He has domes up on some of the important provinces now, but yeah, we've been nuking, and like a significant number of those are mages. Every time we see this, this didn't kill that many, but I think this one was. Oh, that was here on Pythium. Yeah. I think we'll go through the battles. Well, I guess we'll talk about it first. What's been happening is I've basically realized that this is not going to be... I'm not going to be able to take this turn and jump to the other one like I wanted to. Because he deflected that with all of my Malaquis, which at the time seemed a little frivolous, but anyway, I now realize that they are going to be absolutely critical. I since haven't really used the Malaquis because I don't have any golems to go with them. So we're going to be using them again this turn for the first time since I really went for the Throne Rush. Or Rush, I guess, going after this one at turn 140. But what I've been doing is I've been trying to put multiple forts under check so that his Royal Malakwi can only be in one place at a time. So it's here basically. And yeah, it murdered some of these guys. But now I've put his capital under check. So I think his capital is gonna go, I think he's gonna have to, because I also nuked his capital, so there's not much inside. He's got an army here, which is where I was. I basically stormed this fort of his not too long ago. And I put up iron walls, so he's not going to be taking that back anytime terribly soon. Which is fine by me. And I moved this army onto the cap. This army that took this fort. So now, and I'll show you what I've got here. The cap is under check. I think he just had this tart out. I think, what did it do? Winds of Death, it looks like. No, Wailing Winds. That's not what you want to do, actually. If this guy should have done Wind of Death. Anyway, we hit him, he disappears. So there's a tart inside here. This actually is not a terribly scary army. This army is kind of shit, so I have to be pretty careful with it. But I think it's scary enough with the tart support and all of these guys. It's scary enough, I hope, that I can force this first couple to astral travel over here. And if we succeed in that, which actually I probably should check. Have this guy just stick your head in there and retreat. If I succeed in that, then we will take this. I believe 1, 2, yeah, this one's definitely in range of him astral traveling to. Which would be unfortunate. So if he steals a bunch of this army, I'd be very sad. And I don't actually, looking at it, I don't actually have, okay, this guy can do turn 1 Army of Gold, but I can't even do turn 1 anti-magic, which isn't even really gonna matter, because all this stuff is gonna go before turn 1. But he's probably not thinking he can hold on to this. I think what I'm gonna do is not send in the full squad, because whoever I send in could possibly get Master Enslaved, and I've kind of got a lot here. So I think we're going to send in maybe half of this, or less. Yeah, or less. And the other thing I've been doing is I've been forting this area up. Shinuyama has decided to long distance stealthy raid me. And so I put both of these 3 red seconds castles up. And the turn I did it, he had raiders out here, and it was like mummy. I'll show you. It was these idiots. Basically, they were twice spawned and now they're mummies because they were in the Hall of Fame. You can see they've died a shit ton of times when I made them die some more. But he was stealthy raiding with those guys, and then he also had some Ubas who were doing like skelly spam, like 13 of them were skelly spam raiding, and they killed some PD, and then the next turn I killed all of them. And then he took this province and he snuck in and did a wizard's tower here. And then that was last turn. And then last turn I sent him a message saying, thanks dude. And I teleported these guys on top. And then he had all his dudes who were raiding last turn, which you'll see is a bunch of, or no, because I killed most of them. So these were the Ubas that were left, and plus he had a golem that I think he had teleported in or something. How did this golem not die? He doesn't have a ring of... Oh, he has a ritual of returning, so he got sent home. And he has this guy... Well, okay, he has two guys. He has the mummy, which is a hero. And then he's got this white mage. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna come out and do Phoenix Pyre, and I'm gonna be cool. Well, it's not gonna fucking work. Thing is, I swear to God, people get so stoked about Phoenix Pyre Thugs. Phoenix Pyre Thugs... Like, when it works pretty well, but it doesn't fucking work very often. Like, if you just have flyers in your army that are reasonably killy, like air elemental, you need kind of a lot of air elementals, but... I didn't even cast Mass Flight here, I just had a lot of dudes, and we just killed them really fast. Has he gone berserk yet? Yeah, okay, he's gone berserk. I don't even think he finished his buff cycle. Okay, and these siege golems are probably going to tear them apart. I don't know if they're inanimate. They are. So they're going to get hit. Is this guy gonna get hit too? No, the mummy's going to get hit with Shatter Fists. So these siege golems are just gonna make the mummy go pop. And he is shock. Not... He's basically got stunned. Okay, yeah. Phoenix Pyre. We're gonna zoom out so we can kind of see. Okay, he pops up over here. And these guys one hit kill him. He pops up over here. And he's put a lot of gems on these guys. Like, these are not cheap. Oh, but I'm gonna come in long distance raid you. Okay, buddy. Let's see how effective this is. How many of my guys in my army will you kill? Now, they're reinvigorating. Okay, he's back at 97. And I didn't even really have this army. I should have had him on mass flight, probably. This guy's at 0 fatigue. He's gonna take a little bit of doing. Okay, boop. He goes pop. He's up here. Now, while there's two, there is something with Phoenix Pyre dudes. The more you have of them, the more your guys will be split up running across them, and it can be hard to focus one down. But we have permanently killed, I believe, the other one. Plus the support staff is all gone. Yeah, this guy's dead. He got just a few afflictions. Lost both arms, chest wound, limp, crippled, battle fright, weakened. Yeah, okay. And now the guy who's left is the mummy, which I think he's up here. Long list of afflictions too, not quite as impressive, but... Okay, he's died again. My storm demons are coming in. He has no shock resistance, and so they're flying, which is, this is what you need. You need some flying dudes. They do have 20 protection, so they don't take much damage from the Phoenix Pyre explosions. Okay, we got him. That's all you really need, is some flyers that can kill him. You could have, like, flying, kitted thugs, which would be good, but I didn't have those. So how many people do you think he killed? He killed none. None. What did he give me? He gave me a free fort, thank you. Now, the thing is I'm giving Shinuyama some shit, but he's been absolutely idiotic all game. And I haven't been able to talk any sense into him. Now, at this point, I'm close enough to winning where these kind of shenanigans start to make a little sense. Because, like, okay, go after the game leader. But, like, if I don't win, somebody else will. He has zero chance of winning. Zero. Absolutely zero. Zero. There's not even like a rounding error chance he wins anymore. And that's because for 80 turns now, he has thrown the game away. I got in a little discussion with Sakane, who's the player for TC, and he was saying, well, you say it's unreasonable of Shinuyama. But really, if you look at it from his perspective, it makes sense. And his argument was that if you look kind of back when I was getting fought by everybody, like I was at war with Pythium, I was at war with TC, I was at war with Relay, and Shinuyama attacks me. He's like, well, this is my time while Lucid's distracted to get the water. And if I can't take the water from him while he's busy fighting everybody else, then there's no other time to fight him. Like, it will never be easier to take the water from him. And the thing is that is the worst thinking, I think. I'm like surprised that Sakane said it. Because, and I think Sakane actually agrees with this. I would say that, well, it wasn't Sakane's thinking. This is just what Shinuyama was telling him. No. Sakane seems to think this is reasonable. Thing is that if I started losing, and y'all, I mean, if you've been following the series, which I presume if you've made it to episode almost 100, you have, you will know that the whole time I was talking about, well, I may have to give this up, because I'm not going to be able to hold all this Pangean land against TNG and Pythium. And I was completely ready to evacuate. I wasn't building any more forts, which now it's all forted because I know I'm not going to give any of it up. But at the time, I was totally ready to give it all up. And I told all this to Shinuyama, that look, if the war goes south, I'll give up my land holdings. But you have zero chance, especially with me having this huge ocean system. I've beaten Yis, I've beaten Pelagia, and I'm gonna beat Relay. And you think, as Shinuyama, you are gonna hold some underwater stuff from me. It makes absolutely no sense. Now, the other line of thinking is, well, hey, as Shinuyama, I need to put pressure on Lucid so the other guys can make progress. So Pythium and TNG can get the Pangean land and thereby take his thrones. Okay. If I were in like imminent throne victory, which in no way was I, right? Because at the time, I still had to take this Relayan throne, which he had like 1,500 dudes in. And I had to take, so just sieging it down took for goddamn ever. And I had to get this throne from Shinuyama, which was no cakewalk. But even once I had that, then I had to like fight these guys, and they had the Royal Malakwi business, which I still haven't gotten it. It's turn 140. Like, it's not easy. So anyway, but the thinking was, okay, if I'm close to a throne rush, then maybe I need to put pressure on Lucid so that this land can be taken by Pythium and TNG. Well, the thing is if you go back in time and we look at where Shinuyama was at like turn 60 or something, Shinuyama wasn't in a bad position. They had just won a war with Marignon. Where's Marignon's capital? Here it is. They had just won a war with Marignon, so they had two capitals. They had a good gym income. They had pretty good research. They had their little bone grinding group set up that were pretty scary. They had things they could do. They had thugs, presumably, or they had some super combatants coming out. They could have pooled up a ton of gems because they were in a pretty favorable diplomatic situation and tried to take control of the global. And as the size of two nations, you kind of could do it. But at the time, I was going to be 4 nations big. So I was twice as big as him, and I was about to be 5 once I finished Relay. So anyway, it's kind of hard to control the globals when you're only a 2 nation, but if you're not at war, you kind of can. So he could have made a play for the globals. But if we look at Shinuyama's problem, or like the situational problem, like what was the predicament he was in? He only had 2 land neighbors and then 1 big ocean neighbor. Well, I mean, he had Relay as a neighbor for a little bit, but his problem was that he was never going to have the ocean, because he was never going to hold the ocean against an ocean power that got most of the ocean, if you're following me. It didn't even matter whether it was me or Pelagia or Relay or Yis. Whoever it was, well, Yis maybe. Yis is probably the weakest of the 3 of us in pure underwater fighting. Because they're cap only, all this stuff would be a long way away from their capital for a lot of their good stuff. Some of their other stuff they could get, but it's not quite as good. But even then, yes, if they had most of this, would probably be able to throw off Shinuyama. But any of the other ones of us, Pelagia, 0 chance. Relay, 0 chance. Me, 0 chance. Especially if the player behind that nation was good enough to conquer the other ones. Because that would mean they're competent. The only chance that Shinuyama would have against a larger underwater nation underwater would be that the player was incompetent, and that's not going to happen if somebody's conquered the other ones. So the problem they have is they have this basically ocean neighbor, and then rather than them having like, 2 big land neighbors and then a small, weaker neighbor they could potentially go after, they have to go after 2 of the big superpowers. So they're pinned in really by all 3 superpowers in the game. They're pinned in by Tianqi, who is enormous, as you see, and they have tons of forts and tons of temples, and I think Tianqi said at one point he had his dominion in Shinuyama's capital. So a tremendous amount of dominion pressure, and they were at war for a little bit, and they were kind of losing, Shinuyama was. And I was trying to help by attacking a little bit, even though I didn't really make any progress, but anyway, I was nuking stuff for him and things like that. The other neighbor to the north is Pythium, who of course is no joke, because at the time Pythium came out to about right here. You see my mouse? And then it came down to about right here, and then over right up in here. And actually had, I think, all the way to this lake. So Pythium was enormous as well. And then some of this stuff up here, like this was Pythium's, this was, I think all this was Pythium's, right? So they were very, very big. And both Pythium and Tianqi are pretty good late game communion nations. And Pythium had the first couple, which was running around pretty early. Okay, so their main problem is that they had 2 very large land neighbors, and the only way they were going to make any progress in the game was taking territory from the land neighbors. Now, the other predicament they were worried about is if they attacked one of the land neighbors too much, they might destabilize one of the land neighbors, and they might fall to Lucid. Okay. Thing is that not terribly true. I think if you're looking at a game, if you're one of the leaders, like if you're one of the big 3 or the big 4, however many, the big 2, however big your game is, if you're one of the contenders, if you will, if you're in a very strong late game position, it is upon you, it rests upon your shoulders to try to win, right? And to do things to keep the game state alive to try to win. If you're a smaller player, like Shinuyama, they'd conquered another nation, but they weren't a superpower by any means. Their concern is not really with keeping the game state like in perfect harmony or balance, right? Like, sure, if I'm about to win, it doesn't matter whether they snipe off a little Pythium land because they're about to lose, but they shouldn't be overly concerned with game state balance. They need to be primarily concerned with advancing their own interests and getting themselves out of the little situation they're in. So a good example of this is when I finally convinced them to attack Tianqi. They attacked Tianqi for a little bit. They are losing the war, but I declare war against Tianqi. And what does Tianqi do? They buy peace with Shinuyama and give up a couple forts. Now, that would be Shinuyama doing what I said they should do, which is attacking them, and getting out of an unprofitable war is fine. So them getting out is fine. Like, it pisses me off now because I've got to deal with Tianqi, but that was like a good play. What should he have done next? Well, wait for, or probably declare war on Pythium once Vanarus is free, or once I'm free to attack them a little bit, and then he can negotiate probably just through Diplo getting peace. If I start actually looking like I might be able to get one of their thrones, which in no way was I don't think, for most of the game, then Pythium would be even more desperate to buy peace, and Shinuyama would get a little bit bigger. And by switching back and forth between these two, he could have made some progress, which is kind of actually what happened as they went back to war. The only times in the game that were good for Shinuyama are when he alternated between attacking these two and making peace. And the more times he could have done it, the better. But what instead he has done for 80% of the last 80-something turns, maybe more like 100. No, not 100, probably like 80. What he has done for the majority of that is he has been attacking me with extraordinary low success. So here he sends all of these idiots underwater. I think this is a bone grinding communion. I think this is Wither Bones. He's gonna try to snipe my Lich. My Lich is back here and he's going to Wither Bones my Lich. The first salvo missed. Oh, he got hit by poison somehow. I don't even know how it happened. Was it Moss Body? Why is there poison right here? "49 points of poison damage. The fuck? Okay, it wasn't casting it that caused the problem. Oh, maggots. That's what got him. Okay, so he cast maggots. Alright, buddy. Oh, Witherbones was targeting back here, so it killed some of these guys. Vortex of Return. Okay, so he spent a ton of gems. What did he accomplish? Not terribly fucking much. Killed my Lich, killed 3 whites, spent a ton of gems. I do need to look at what I'm gonna do for this. The easiest thing is just don't bring my undead, because maggots is the only thing that's gonna do much. And I can also I'll script some of these guys to just enslave mind. Like starting turn 1. And that should be fine. But I think without undead, I have a plenty good time casting everything. So anyway, but he's been doing stupid shit like that. Stupid shit like this. He attacked down here where this is a living castle he built because he thought he was going to keep, like, what the fuck is he thinking? I've never been able to understand it. But at this point in the game, I've kind of accepted it. But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna remember this for future games, like that I play with this player, where, like, I don't want to have them as a neighbor. So if the game state is such that it makes sense to attack them, like, an irrational player is not a fun, because like a rational player, a rational one, can be a good neighbor, because you know when they're going to turn on you, and you know when they're not going to turn on you, and when they're going to keep peace. But these guys are like completely irrational. So it doesn't, yeah. Anyway. Whatever. But I mean, they've done such horrible trades. I mean, for 80 turns, it's been horrible trades. I think for every gem I've spent, he's lost 5 gems. At least. And then for every gold I've spent, he's probably lost 8 or 10 gold. I mean, it's just, it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. Yeah. But if he's gonna do these shenanigans, I just sit here as PD, and then... Yeah, I think PD plus Army of Gold, plus a few other things. I'll make a few water elementals, and then nothing he's going to throw out's easily going to handle that. His little Phoenix Pyro Thugs don't work underwater. Pinging me everywhere with Kappa Chief so that he can continue to do extremely futile or fruitless raiding. Okay, well, we know what... And I've got the same script every time, and it's like, feel free to send shit at me, which is just gonna fucking die. He's got a little priest army here. If I wanted to, I could just send one army through and probably go stomp through and kill all this, which is not a horrible idea. But I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I have to deal with bone grinding, so I need basically another one of these guys. It's not that bad. Hostile spell, I have no idea what that was. So that has basically been what's going on. I don't know if there's much else here. Oh. And I've been pinging this with very limited success. Pythium's had a pretty big stack here. Kind of scary stuff, big Mage Communion, and I think he's even gotten, like, maybe he converted a Tard or something I sent in. Which is fine. What we are going to do here, because he's basically been having the same army do it every turn, which I think makes sense, is we're going to come in and we're going to steal all of them. So, I haven't been using these mages for, these Malakis for a while, but now we're going to have them roll in 3 Master Enslayers, and we'll do an Earthquake. I should be able to do... I'll be like Earth. I'll be High Earth. I think we'll do... Yeah, I think we'll do Life After Death. Or no, we'll do Darkness and then Life After Death. Darkness will make those Earthquakes a little bit more effective, though I don't think they'll be off in time. I'm just doing the original order. And I might bring in some, like, tart killing dude that's flying that can come in and kind of finish people off. In fact, I think the guy I'm going to bring in is this guy. Which I don't know if I have any special tart killing gear. Though, oh, it's an enchanted spear. I was going to say a piercer would not be bad for this purpose. What would really be good is the little astral wand. You know what I think would be good, actually, is I think I'll give him these Tartarian chains here. He'll be on tart killing duty. And so he's going to actually just move in here. And we'll give him a script of something like... Iron Will. Nope. Iron Will... we should already have Army of Gold and stuff coming down, so I don't have to worry about that. Well... And the reason I kind of want him to do this is... Do I have mass flight? I don't think so, which is fine. Okay, and doing this, he should jump to the back and kind of murder everybody. He's gonna have really high MR. It's gonna be 30 something, 31 probably. He's gonna be regenerating a shit ton. He's going to have quickness with these Tartarian chains, so he'll hopefully be converting a lot of people. And he's gonna have a lightning hat. So I'm pretty sure with all of that, they will do good things. And this is going to be a huge burden on these golems. So they are going to get a fair amount of HP damage, and it's one of the reasons I want to make sure I bring him in, is I don't want the battle to drag on terribly long, like with them trying to nuke down a Tart or something. And the reason is that they will potentially kill my golems, which I don't want to do. We're probably not going to try to storm this fort. I don't think we'll A, crack it next turn, but B, if we could, we wouldn't. I probably will bring on more people to make it look like I'm going to storm it, and that will basically free up. He's basically gonna have to put his Royal Malakui in there, which I think will be fine. And like potentially I can have both of these under check, and if I have both of these popped on the same turn, that will be, I think, good for me. So I think what we're gonna do, this army here, we're going to basically move them here. And then he's going to pop out, and you are going to pop out. It's also funny, this white mage has switched sides. White mage from Shinuyama, so it was Shinuyama's, and then it became mine, and then I gave it to Pythium, and then I got it back from Pythium. So he's turned coat quite a few times. The other thing that if you have a good, decent astral access, then sorts of things don't typically work well. The other thing I kind of want to have, and I don't know if I have it anywhere near. You know, I probably can bring a different vampire. How many vampires over here? I don't. Shit. Oh, he can totally make it with boots, though. Okay, so he's going to come over here. I want to bring another vampire over this way, so I think we're going to bring this idiot. Forget who he has as bodyguards. Just some of these guys. Okay, so... And life after death, I don't even know if I care about that much. I care about it actually much more in this fight. So I think he's going to do life after death in darkness. Mass protection. Mass regeneration. Retreat sounds fine. This guy is going to be doing... Okay, wait, you're going to do... You've gone, that's fine. You're going to pop out and do... Well, he's very high. I think we're going to have him do, in case there's tarts... And then he can do Temper Flesh. Flying shield attack closest. And this will be a pretty good script. And I think everybody's on hold and attack is what I want. The risk is something happens to this guy, which I don't really have redundancy there. What I expect he's going to do is have everybody move here, have these guys teleport inside. This army, if we look at it, I don't think it's terribly scary. He's got the Hunter of Heroes, which is annoying. I probably need to think about that when I... Oh, I didn't mention this. I was trying to wish for the Horror Harmonica, and apparently I typed it wrong and it gave me this instead. And he had like 30-something MR, and so I was like, okay, well, I'll put gear on it and go send it against him. And of course he gets charmed. Like, early. He should not have gotten charmed, by the way. I mean, it probably got him on, like, the 4th or 5th hit. And the guy had a little bit of magic penetration gear, but not even much. I think it was only, like, 2. And I had fluffed him up with anti-magic and stuff, but yeah, it didn't matter. So, anyway, these guys are going to come in. I do need to make sure, as much as possible, that everybody has... you know, they're protected somewhat. So, let's have you do... and then let's have the vampire I have coming in. I'll do conservative genius. She's sneaking in. Oh no, she's with the army. She could get magic dueled. I gotta be a little careful. Guess we'll do anti-magic. What I would kind of like is, how many water gems do I have? I don't really have many. I can do quickening with, I think it's only 1 or 2. I'll have a few. If he did like, I don't really have, do I have enough? I might have enough. We'll go ahead and do ground army. I don't, okay, it'll say I can. I don't know if it'll actually run. Okay, you can do more Legions of Steel, because I should have Brush of Strength coming in for the other stuff. So Strength of Giants won't be super effective. He has a water gem, so he might as well do something like Wave Warriors. Area Effect 5 is not super big. Quickening, Area Effect 9. Maybe I want that instead. Wait, this guy's doing darkness, which means this guy can probably drop darkness. And Blood Rain I definitely want, because this guy's doing Wailing Winds. Actually, it should be probably... fine. So that seems fine. Now, it could be that he consolidates and has like a big... I think the people inside are going to sit inside and he's going to teleport dudes. These guys will probably just do what they can on the outside. But I don't know, it could be that there's a huge battle and more people than I think come out of the cap and fight me, which would be unfortunate. I'll drop this off. Attack large. Should be fine. Actually, we can put you a little bit more central too. So that's going to be that. My golem, who has been jumping around on top of different forts. I think this will be as good a place as any for a golem. If I had a scout, I would love to put a scout back on top. I do not. Do not think I have a scout who can make it. Nope. Here we've got a ton of PD, we're having a dude patrol. This guy can get deployed too. I need to think about where I'm going to move him. potentially he could go here. There's a vampire, but he's going to regenerate a lot. And I'm pretty sure I can... I don't know how many vampires are here. I think he could probably YOLO in and take it. But you just never know. But I think we're gonna try. So I think the script we'll give is going to be something like Iron Will, Summon Earth Power. I'm mostly worried about MR attacks. I have a little bit of shock resistance, but not a ton. Iron Skin, Temper Flash. Okay, and he'll clear a ton of dudes a turn. A little overkill on regen, but if I've got the thing, the vampire might be spamming Wither Bones, Dust to Dust. But this should be enough regen to handle it. He's going to be regenning, yeah, pretty damn close to 40 a turn. So he can take a Wither Bones basically every turn. And hopefully that will clear out some of this chaff. I've got to figure out how I'm going to spend my gems this turn too. There's the other kind of variable in all this. And we're going to take most of you guys, and we're going to sneak y'all in here. So we're going to have just an army of scouts. I can be doing a better job, I think, raiding. Making him use more counter raiders. I probably should. But I think I need to do remote raiders. Like here, you can probably... I'm waiting for her to get unfeeble-minded. Oh, I got a really cool tart this turn, too. Astral 5. That's pretty huge. So she's actually probably going to be... she's probably going to join the Wish Club. Which will mean we just need to make her some of her own gear. And then she can jump in the Wish Club. I think we're going to go ahead and take this turn, and with Mr. Hands... Oh, he got... I wish for the Horror Harmonica. So the way this works is I should have just stolen it from Tianchi, which hopefully... I don't even really need to use it. Hopefully this just slows down the war with... what do you call it? The war with Vanarus. So I think we're going to make a Robe of the Magi. Shit, I'm gonna need another. I think we're gonna go ahead and just make it Ring of... I'm probably gonna take 2 turns off of him casting that. Of him casting Wish. Bring this Fairy Queen out. God, you're slow. Do you have crippled? Yeah. Fuck. Okay, I'll have you move here. These guys, we are spamming out demons. Storm demons, to be particular. Here, yeah, we're gonna have half this army run in. Did I get through the script for this with you? I'll just show you real quick. This guy's going to do... One of these guys has a Bag of Wind, which he's going to use to do Fog Warriors. So he's going to do Power the Spheres, Master and Slay of Fog Warriors. This will help the Golems take, I think, a little bit less fatigue. I'm not totally sure. The Golems are only Astral 2. I could have put Rings of Returning on them, but then I can't finish my script because they go home too quick. I think if I did 8 Golems, I might be able to. But, yeah. 4 golems, they take HP damage. So anyway, we're not going to do the Ring of Returning, but we did put Light Banner of the Northern Star, which is going to help. So these guys are going to be Astral 7 at the start. Then once the golems basically do their thing, they're going to be up to Astral 9. And fortunately, I believe that is all we have to be. I think it's what, Astral 8? Yeah, Astral 8. So we'll be 1 over. 7 and 9, yeah. But he will be actually Astral 10, because he's going to power the spheres. And I do need to figure out what I'm going to... I think his final thing will be actually another... he can do Summon Earth Power and then Earthquake. And then here we're just going to do 3 Master and Slaves. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we're not doing anti-magic though. But he's not doing turn 1 Master and Slave. And that's not even a possibility, so I don't even really have to worry about that. This is going on top of his throne. I think this is fine. This guy coming here. I think we'll have him just do... Maybe we do Rush of Strength and then Blood Rain. Then Reinvigoration. We've got Army of Gold, Summon Earth Power. We're doing these in reverse order. I wanted that off first. But actually looking at it, that's probably fine. This way it'll hit a lot of the guys we steal. We'll probably keep more of them, which a little impartial about, but this guy has an Eye of the Void too, so he's at 8 penetration. I mean, 4 penetration. The problem with these Malaquis is I can't use them to storm forts because they get gym baited, but I can use them to clear off things, so we can't really guard it. So I think that's... But I've needed these golems, which I had to rebuild, so I haven't been able to do that for a hot minute. Do need more of these guys. We'll make another one of you. And I'm almost out of Flames from the Sky targets, because I've just killed everybody. Honestly, don't even know. I mean, this is probably the best place to go. 34 communicants. Some chaff. The green lions I can't hurt. I mean, or hit this, which has some chaff. It's also got domes. I mean, I think we're going to... Let's go take a look and just see what they've got real quick. I think we're going to murder on this. Yeah, God, this thing's going to get totally messed up. I'm doing Army of Gold, so I don't really have to... I'm doing it turn 1, so I don't have to worry about Firestorm, which what that would be. This is a Tartarian killing golem, because it's got the Herald Lance. Another Herald Lance. So he's really set up to kill Tarts. They don't have a ton of MR, it's only 21. I probably am going to have to deal with them, though. I wonder if I could bring in more dudes. I feel like this isn't... This guy's doing mass regen, which would be a little helpful. I'm not doing any morale plays, which is maybe okay. Fire large enemy monsters. 'Cause, I mean, I think we're going to... Let's go take a look and just see what they've got real quick. I think we're going to murder on this. I'm doing Army of Gold, so I don't have to worry about Firestorm, which what that would be. I think they're just going to HP route the tarts. We'll kill everything. Like, these guys are all going to get... Yeah, everybody here is going to get stolen. We're going to get like 80% of them, and we're going to get a lot of the mages too. Yeah, like these Therog Acolytes, we're going to get like all of them. The Therogs we're going to get fewer of. We'll get more than half. Yeah, we're going to get almost everybody here. And then I think they're just going to rout. We'll probably get one or two of the Liches or Vampire. We'll get a lot of the Vampires. Yeah. Fine. Here, because we're sieging his capital, we're going to go ahead and storm. And the main idea behind the script here is just going to be... Oh God, I don't really have anything, do I? Army of lead, Firefend, Flamestorm? Is that it? No, I always do the wrong ones. Firestorm is the one I want. Okay. I don't think that will actually cast. Yeah, 5. I'm not going to be able to cast. Okay, shit. Oh, that'll be 4. I should be able to cast. I might be able to. It may not go off. I'm not super worried about it. Rush of Strength, Blood Rain, Mass Regen, Frostfend. Okay. This seems kind of okay. I mean, it's probably overkill. Well, I said I wasn't, in case he did teleport in people. I think we're going to omit these guys. Which, what that actually is going to mean... I do want the flyers in. What that's going to mean is this guy who's not really doing anything, he's just going to waltz these guys out. Okay, these guys are storming the castle. These guys are sieging. You are going to... guess come here. Move in patrol in case there's some Pythium shenanigans. I feel like you should have a job too. Though I'm not really sure what that job is. Oh, the other thing I have is I have this golem. Which I think we're actually going to kit him up as a horror harmonica golem. Because I do have Rings of Returning now. And with a hat and a Ring of Returning... and I think for an item... Not really sure. Does that give him all? Yeah, okay. That might be helpful in keeping him from getting hit. Gives him a very bad repel chance because I've got shitty attack. But the all might be worth it. I should put armor on him though. Let me just steal some armor somewhere. Perfect. Steal from you. And then, so this is a horror harmonica golem. A lot of times you do it with Armor of Virtue. That's kind of how you see it most. Ring of Returning should work just fine. He's an amphibian, so he's okay going home. This would not be horrible on him. He could teleport. It's not a horrible idea. He can move a reasonably long way, like here. But I've already got a real golem going there, and I don't want that golem to get killed by the Hars. What I think I'm going to do is to teleport him on top of these guys. And he will just do his thing, which is... Wailing Winds comes up, so basically you just call Hars. And... probably fine. Let's see, he'll probably get sent home and then I'll teleport him somewhere. Oh, you know where I should teleport him? And I think he can actually make it. Because he's going to be patrolling with this. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And it won't win, but it'll burn gems and otherwise fuck with him. Now the danger of doing this is TNG is getting ready to make a play on this throne. So we'll have to see. And then finally, Flames from the Sky. Okay, the other thing I'm going to have to do is spend all these gems, which I've been doing, probably not surprising to you, with a fair amount of Flames from the Sky. Was that... did he get hurt from that? Oh shit, he got killed. A powerful frostbite. Oh, we have susceptibility to cold. Well, shit. We lost a lot of gear, actually. I'm gonna need frost armor on these guys. So maybe we chill out casting Flames from the Sky for a hot minute. You can make like a hat, because we're gonna need another hat. And then we're gonna need a few of these frost armors. Cold resistance 15, it sounds just perfect. Like that. I'll make 3 of the, or 4 of these so I have them. Here we've got to make sure you have enough gems to do your thing. Yeah, she'll be able to cast that. Actually, she only needs 8. Let's not go crazy. We get assassinated or something. Now, the thing I said I was going to change is that we're going to be doing some soul slaying here, or enslaved minding. So all of you astral fuckers are gonna patrol. Okay. Anti-magic, that's fine. We've already got somebody with Light of the Northern Star, so you can just do Soul Slays, okay? And I don't even really care about charming them, I just really want them dead. Though some of them are going to be... I guess we'll do Enslaved Mind. Because some of them may be twice-born, in which case this will get them. Now this guy is only Astral 2, so he'll be 3. So he'll only be able to Soul Slave with Light of the Northern Star up. And then you are going to basically do the same thing. Okay. And you are going to be able to do my favorite script. Okay. Perfect. Might bump this up to 50 here too. And I'm maybe going to retire. Oh, all the whites were commanded by that Lich too, so. I think, want to get another Lich back over there. So I think what I'm going to do... Where did he spawn to? I forget. It's down here at the bottom. Okay. I think I'm going to call it for this episode, because it's going to probably take a little bit as I finish all the micro. But we're storming here. We are cutting back here, because I think he's going to think I'm going to storm. We are hopefully going to wipe out the army on top of this. If I killed this army, then I have a decision about whether I try to go for this one, which I think is probably the play. Nuke this thing with flames from the sky like 10 times. Till there's nothing inside, and then we kill it. Though at that point I'm going to be worried about TNG coming in and sniping me. You know, alternatively, I could go after... I think it's going to be easier, actually, to try to go after a TNG throne. I think this one's going to be the easiest one to get. I might just end my nap with him. If I get this throne, I think I end my nap with TNG, and that will... One, mean I have to protect this, but I think I can do that. Two, it's going to mean I can potentially snipe any of his thrones, which this one is the most obvious candidate. So astral traveling in a huge army, teleporting in a bunch of Tartarians with cool shit that he can't assassinate. I think that would be kind of... I think that'll be clutch. I think that'll be good. He can, of course, move a huge army in too, but I'm pretty sure I can move in more. So we'll see. That's probably how it's all going to shake down. I think going after this one, I think it's too well defended. And it's too close to TNG, so like even if I take it, there's a good chance TNG pushes me off of it and then gets it, and then I have to get it from him. At which point, I would rather have just gone for an easy TNG one. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I think a ton of Storm Demons, a ton of Fiends of Darkness, a ton of Lions, every battlefield buff coming in from a Tart, and then maybe one Royal Malakui. I think that will have a pretty good chance at taking this throne, especially when nothing's on it. And then I take it, I claim it, and we are in good shape. He's getting a lot of long dead here, which means he could potentially try to get this one. I can also start nuking these, which I'm going to do pretty quickly. How many? 5 months left on this Iron Walls? We'll have to cast that again later. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Take care.